This is the Angels Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls. And welcome back to the latest edition and long-awaited return of the Locked On Angels Postcast, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, now directly on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, or if you forgot, and I don't blame you if you did, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson. I'm a former credentialed journalist in the LA area, covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin. I was writing articles. I was conducting interviews. I was in the press box for 4 years in college covering UCLA sports. And now I'm here officially today, starting year 2 as a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Of course, this is the Angels Postcast. I also do the postcast for the Rams and for UCLA football. And enough about me. 8-1. White Sox 8, Angels 1. How about that for a depressing yet fitting start to 2025? The new season is finally here, but dare I say, we already know after one game that the old Angels from last year are here too. Oh man, we'll dive plenty into this game. Kikuchi makes his debut. Mike Trout is back in a regular season game, but so are these awful Angels. We will talk all about that, but quickly before we do, real quick housekeeping. And I said quick about 10 times already, but some housekeeping because obviously for returners, there's some new things going on with the show. And obviously there's plenty of new viewers and listeners. So first and foremost, shout out to everybody in here. We have 55 people in here all at once live. And the reason that is the case is because first and foremost, the big change, instead of being on the Locked On Los Angeles Podcast Network, the Locked On Los Angeles YouTube channel, now we are here on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel directly. So as all of you know, big shout out to the Super Halo Bros, the Frisch Bros, John and Mike. Shout out to them having me on this channel now for this season. Super excited to be here. Shout out to all the new viewers. For those who don't know what the heck a postcast is, it's a post-game podcast, hence the name Postcast. And with all that being said, we can finally jump into actually talking about this game. It's going to be on this channel every game directly after. You know that now. Join me here. This is the place. Leave the comments. You already are. Let's jump right into this one. And boy, I got to start by saying, and tell me if you disagree or tell me if you agree. I came into this game saying, I don't want to overreact. It's one game. I know it's opening day. I know that we've been waiting so long for a single baseball game to see what this new look Angels team looks like and to see if we're going to be any better than that awful team that we saw last season. I told myself I wasn't going to overreact, though. It's just one game out of 162. But the only way I was going to overreact is if we did exactly what we did today. And that is getting blown out to the worst team we've maybe ever seen last season, getting blown out, but in the same fashion that the Angels always lost last year. I mean, everything was identical. Everything was identical. How many times did the starting pitcher last season have a solid outing, maybe one rough inning? I mean, Kikuchi, it's his debut, and he's already fitting in like a regular Angels pitcher last season. Most of his start, phenomenal. One bad inning, right? The bullpen blows up. How many times did we say that last season? And then, best of all, in typical Angels fashion and so fitting and so, just the typical thing that happens to me. You're down 8-0, the game is over, and then there's just that one stupid little useless run in the ninth. There's always that useless run that doesn't accomplish anything other than letting all the pundits, all the Angels defenders and glazers, you can call them, come out and say, hey, they didn't get shut out. All that run in the ninth does, and shout out to Logan O'Hoppe. Thank you for giving us a single run so we didn't get shut out on opening night. And just a quick stat here for you if you didn't know. Coming into today, the Angels were 1-10 in their last 11 opening day games. Now 1-11. And this has got to be up there as one of the worst ones, right? You lost 8-1 to a team that set the modern era record for losses last season, right? So I know I said I wasn't going to overreact. I know you guys don't want to overreact to one game. Who knows? The Angels could still win the next 5 games and what? But come on. The only way I would overreact is if you did exactly what you did every game last season, losing in all the identical ways. Just no hits to even talk about. No one ever on the bases. We had a guy get on third with 1 out in this game. Do you think there was a sac fly to have him score? Heck no. We had the bases loaded at one point. Do you think we got a single run out of it? Heck no. Mike Trout's back. He's getting pegged. That was the most eventful thing that happened today until the home run. Tim Anderson getting an ovation going against his former team was the most eventful thing that happened in today's game for the Angels offense. I mean, come on. I don't want to be a guy that comes in here and just raises my voice every game when the Angels lose. And if it was 5-4, if it was 9-8, then I would have said, you know what? That's a different type of loss for the Angels. They played a competitive game. They actually had some hits and some runs. I mean, the only thing this game didn't have that it had last year was 3 errors in left field from Taylor Ward, right? You know, a failed pickoff attempt, gone into the dugout or something. Ron Washington, I guess he had a couple questionable decisions, so that's all still there. But like, lose any other way, and I might have been a little calmer. You lost the one way that's going to make me lose my mind. And should we really be that surprised? Should we really be that surprised? Because I'm sitting, by the way, for those who don't know, I'm repping it here. I work for the LA Clippers. I'm at work right now. I'm taking my lunch break from 3 to 4 p.m. so that I can do this show for you. So if that isn't devotion, if that isn't something that needs to have you guys drop a like, I don't know what does, but drop a like. Say thank you that way. I'd appreciate it big time, especially with it being the first postcast on this channel. Let's like the heck out of this video. But with that being said, I'm sitting next to my coworker who's from Orange County. He's a diehard Angels fan. We're sitting there watching the game while we're working. And he's like, why are you so negative? I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's the opening day. It's one of the best days of the year. Let's get excited. But then I look at the lineup, and as happy as you want to be, as optimistic as you want to be, are we surprised? Are we surprised that Tim Anderson struck out 3 times? Are we really that surprised that our big acquisition, Tim Anderson, struck out 3 times? Are we surprised that Jorge Soler, who is known for doing 2 things, hitting home runs and striking out, and lately it's been only the second one? Are we shocked that he struck out twice? I mean, I'm not the biggest Mickey Moniak defender, and we're not making the show about Mickey Moniak, but when I saw that move, my first reaction was, you got a bunch of righties. You're going up against a righty starting pitcher. Are we surprised that a lineup with just Nolan Schanuel as the only true left-handed hitter in the entire lineup, are we surprised that we didn't have 18 hits combined from righty Taylor Ward, righty Mike Trout, righty Soler, righty Anderson, righty O'Hoppe, righty Joe Adell? I'm surprised he didn't strike out 3 times. No offense to him, right? This comment's got me laughing. And I'll be honest, normally last year there was 15 people in here. There was a couple comments. There's way too many comments for me to keep up with here, but I'm loving this. Being the only Angels fan in a corporate office filled with Dodgers fans, I'm already getting so much crap after this game. Yeah, the whole office, except for the guy next to me, they're all Dodgers fans. And they're all laughing at me. They knew I had to peel out and be in a little pod. I'm sitting in a telephone booth, essentially, doing this show right now. And they laughed all game, knowing that I had to come in here and talk about that product on the field. 8-1 to the White Sox. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And what I wanted to do, regardless of win or loss, if it was a close game, was spend 5-6 minutes talking about the game and then spend most of the show, since I don't get to do off-season shows, right? I'm a post-game show guy here. I wanted to spend most of the show talking about my opinions, my outlook for the 25-26 season for our Angels, right? But when you do what they just did today, I have to spend at least half the show talking about what the heck we just watched. Come on. Come on. And so we do have a lot of comments coming in here saying, are you new to the show? I haven't ever seen anyone on here other than the two brothers. Just for, some of the new people who missed the intro, just want to let you all know, nothing is changing with the Daily Show. The Halo Bros, the men themselves, they are the best. They will still bring you the best Daily Angels show Monday through Friday, as always. This is just something new. It's a post-game show. It's not new in the sense that this was already a thing happening last year with Locked On, just on a different YouTube channel. But we just decided we're bringing it directly onto here. So once again, for those who don't know what this is, it does not affect anything with the Daily Pod. They will still be killing it every single Monday through Friday with their daily show. We've just got more content on this channel coming directly on this channel instead of on the old channel for the post-game shows, the postcast, for those who needed to know. But one other change from last season, for those who are familiar with last year, is last season was more of a 30-minute show with 2 ad breaks in between. The format's a little different. It's going to be closer to a 20-minute show with 1 ad break in between. So less ad breaks, more time theoretically here to talk, more time to talk with you all. And exactly like these guys are saying, it's a postcast rant. I don't want it to be a rant every day, but when you do what you did today, it has to be a rant, right? And Antonius says, I like this. We have a space to vent. That's exactly what the point of this show is, right? I want you guys to come in here, whether you're celebrating, whether you're hating, whether you're debating. And no, I did not have that planned, but that was kind of fire. Got to give me some credit there. Did Mike and John get traded? No, they did not. That's funny. I like that. But yes, this is the place for you guys to let me know what you're thinking, and I'm going to let you know what I'm thinking, and we're going to bounce ideas off of each other. We're going to talk about everything we need to talk about it. So unfortunately, this game was so bad, there's not much to talk about in terms of this specific game. I'm going to talk about Kikuchi a little bit because I like the debate that John and Mike were having on one of their shows about 3 or 4 days ago about, is Kikuchi the best opening day starter the Angels have had in the past decade or so, other than Shohei Ohtani? And I said yes. I agreed with them. And I still think that's probably true. He did not have a bad performance today, right? He did not. 6 innings. It's just everything about this game was so similar to last year. How many times did Tyler Anderson have a start where he pitched 6 innings, he gave up 5 hits, he gave up 3 runs, most of them, if not all of them, in one bad inning, right? How many times did we have that? And because there was no run support, it wasn't enough, right? And it's never even, once again, it's never, okay, bases loaded every inning, you're not scoring. It's just lifeless innings of 1, 2, 3 all the time. 1, 2, 3 all the time. So gosh, it must suck to be a starting pitcher for the Angels. And boy, did Kikuchi get introduced to that culture, to that lifestyle right away of being a starting pitcher for this team. You know that every pitch, you got to be perfect because you're not getting a single run of support until the 9th inning when the game is already over. I don't think he knew exactly what he was signing up for. Maybe he did. He saw the win-loss record last year. He saw the lack of runs, but still, it hits different when you're sitting there on the mound and every single inning, you're like, wait, they really aren't going to give me any help. No help whatsoever. Shout out to him. I thought he was okay. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He did give up that home run to Austin Slater. Obviously, all of it came in the 2nd inning. Would have been nice if it came in the 4th or 5th, and maybe the Angels could have had a lead. We could have at least said the Angels had their first lead of 25-26. We're going to have to wait another game for that. Lifeless, disappointing, frustrating, every adjective you can think of. But he was okay. Poor Ryan Johnson, right? I mean, are we surprised by this? I mean, typical Angels making headlines for what are probably the wrong reasons, having a guy not play in the minors, go straight to majors, and you just knew that if he got into any trouble, it was going to blow up in his face. And unfortunately, boy, oh boy, did it. His stat line finishes an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs. And so after your MLB debut, sorry, they're saying my camera's shaking because I'm hitting my table. I'm sorry. I will stop shaking the camera. But sorry about that, guys. But the ERA after your first start is 27. And like Akura Man here says, his first inning was great. 1, 2, 3, electric, exciting. I would have said get him out of there, right? He survived the first test. This guy didn't pitch in minors. His first time playing in the big leagues is the big leagues. And he had a perfect first inning. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Give him a standing O in the dugout and bring on some other guys. We didn't get to see Ben Joyce. We didn't get to see Kenley Jansen because this game was over. Instead, we got to watch Nicky Lopez pitch. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. I'm going to lose my mind. We're going to take our first break here. Again, this is supposed to be a 20-minute show. We're already 15 minutes in, and I haven't even taken the one break. So we're going to take the break. When we come back, it's going to be a quick 5 minutes. I'm trying to keep this to what it's supposed to be, especially because I have to go back into my office and start working for the Clippers again. But we're going to take our first and only break here. And when we come back, we'll quickly talk about what I think is going to happen in the entire 25-26 season. And did today's game, even though it's just one game, did this game alone already change my opinions on this season? We'll talk about that after this break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast. Now, today's show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with PrizePicks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With PrizePicks, you pick more or less on at least 2-player projections, and if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first-inning runs, PrizePicks keeps every game exciting. When I build my lineup, I like to get a little, frisky here or there. For example, I know a lot of people were talking about Aaron Judge, more than 0.5 home runs. He's going to hit a home run. And Shohei Ohtani for over 0.5 stolen bases. You just do something like that. It's that easy. Setting up a lineup, it takes less than 60 seconds. And when you win, your payout is quick, safe, and secure. And there's always exclusive promos. Like I always take advantage of Taco Tuesday, where PrizePicks offers discounts on select player projections for even more value. So download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Today's show is also brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1-ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack for busy days. For me, I go to the gym in the morning, and then when I come into the office right after the gym, I need that post-workout protein. So I'm snacking at my desk. If I'm on a road trip and I need it, if I ever need quick protein boost, it's always my go-to. And you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch. The in-shell options are still a classic favorite for you. So with that being said, get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Boom. Wonderful Pistachios. They're the best. Back here live on the Locked On Angels Postcast. Once again, I'm Gavin Carlson, the first postcast of 25-26. Shout out to everybody in here. So many new faces. I mean, I'm already amazed by what's going on right now. We had 10 to 15 viewers in here live. It would be the same 5 or 6 people in the comment section every day. And shout out to them. I'm not going to forget you guys. Fut Alex right here. He's the man. He was in here all the time. The loyal man himself, Jeff, was always in here. Look at him saying, welcome back, right? A lot of loyal fans back in here, but so many new viewers. Like I said, around 10 to 15 people live normally. We've got over 100 in here live at certain points in this show. So shout out to everybody. Real quick, these shows are normally supposed to be 20 minutes. Today, because I had to give such a long intro, because I had to explain this all, I'm going to give you an extra 3-4 minutes here. We have to quickly talk about my outlook for the 25-26 season. I'll be honest. I know the over-under is around 72.5. And I don't care I don't know if you guys care about that or not, but I'll be honest, coming into this season, I was probably a little less optimistic than others, right? As much as I want to be hopeful, as much as I want to say we have this young core that's amazing. Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Neto, Nolan Shanuel. You got Trout coming back into this lineup. You got Rengifo, who was elite last season when he played. You still got veterans that are solid at times, like Taylor Ward, right? You have a rotation that's young and exciting with guys like Jose Soriano, guys like Jack Kohanowitz. You add Yusei Kikuchi, right? You've got a bullpen that's really interesting. Ben Joyce, Reed Detmer's in there, right? Kenley Jansen added for some veteran support. There's plenty of reasons to make an argument that the Angels were going to make a significant jump, right? If you just let your young players alone, if they all developed a little bit more, surely that's enough to add 5 to 10 wins, right? Mike Trout himself is good enough to add 5 wins, right? So maybe you're already right there at the 70 win, 75, 80 wins, right? Maybe you're a 500 baseball team. I think that's a good goal for this team to try to be 500. But at the end of the day, if you really take a step back and look at the acquisitions that were made this offseason, you added Jorge Soler. Was that a need? Another right-handed hitter who's going to swing and miss a lot? We have Joe Adell. We have Taylor Ward. Is that what we needed? If we want power in the middle of the order from a righty, we've got O'Hoppe there for that. We've got Joe Adell against lefties, I get at least for that, right? We've got Mike Trout back for that. Was that really the need? Yusei Kikuchi, yes, that was probably a need, right? And so I'm happy with that acquisition. But is there a world where he regresses to the guy that he was before he got traded to the Astros? There's a potential there, right? Kenley Jansen, is he old and washed? There's plenty of reasons and plenty of arguments to be made as to why this team can't take a step forward, probably more than why they will take a step forward. And so that's why I hate to be that guy who's negative. And boy, oh boy, if they prove me wrong, if they go out there on Saturday and they win and they look amazing, am I going to overreact then? I'll try not to. But I'm sorry. That's just what I think about the season and the outlook there until we see some concrete changes, until we see a lineup of at least 7 guys that against righties and lefties, you can go, he's going to get at least 1 hit tonight. Because when you look at this lineup, there's so many. Jorge Soler, once again, Tim Anderson. Are you surprised that they struck out and didn't get hits? Are you surprised when you see O'Hoppe go 0 for 3 as much as he's a great player? We saw at the end of last season when he gets burned out. It's in his realm of possibilities. Joe Adell, we know it's in his. Taylor Ward, we know it's in, right? There's just so many. I'm just losing my mind. There's so many guys that you would love to see take a next step, or veterans that you'd love to see maybe go against what they've shown in recent years. But based on the lineup, if you just take your bias out of it, you take your Angel fan Halo homerism out of it, and you just look at the lineup that we're going to put forth, does that scream 85, 90 wins? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And so as of now, I still think we're a 70-win baseball team. I would love us to be an 80-win baseball team, because even if it doesn't mean we're making a playoff push, if it means these guys get valuable experience, right? The problem last season with a guy like Logan O'Hoppe is by the end of the year, we were playing useless games and he was burnt out, and there you go. He had an awful end of the year. Imagine if at that time we were still around 500 and there was something to play for. You don't think that O'Hoppe would have had a better end of the year? I think he would have. So I'll be honest. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm all over the place. My emotions are everywhere. I'm sitting in a telephone booth at the Intuit Dome right now in Inglewood, California. There's a lot going on for me personally. And so I feel like I'm rambling. And it doesn't help that this Angels team just did what they just did. It's making me lose my mind. So we still have a couple people here asking, where's Mike and John? They're still here. Don't worry. They're doing the daily show every morning. They're going to have the reaction to this game tomorrow on their daily podcast like they always do. This is just a new edition, the Locked On Angels Postcast, which was a thing last year, but is now a thing on this channel. So once again, shout out to everybody in here. There's 108 people in here right now. That's awesome. If even half of you left a like, that would mean the world to me. So please do leave a like, leave a comment. All your comments here, I appreciate them. I really appreciate them as well after the show, because I can go in and see those. So yes, leave a like, leave a comment. Love seeing comments like this saying really stoked for this post show though. Love it. Love it. Love to see it. I know this was not the ideal start with it being an embarrassing loss for our Angels, but it'll get better. We will win games. And whether we win, whether we lose, like I said, and I came up with it on the fly, whether we're celebrating, whether we're hating, we'll always be debating. We'll always be Angels fans here every single night after every single game. So shout out to everybody in here. Love all the positive comments. Great job. Glad to have you. I really appreciate it. I promise this was not my best work. I think this was just a good way to get us started. There'll be better shows throughout the season, I promise. And I will typically be in my bedroom studio where there'll be a nice Angels background as well. I'll tell you that. I won't normally be in a telephone booth. But yes, with all that being said, go yell on your pillow, go scream, I hate you, Artie Moreno. I will not blame you at all if you do that. And let's please have a better game coming up. Love these comments. This is cool as hell. Love the raw honesty. Really appreciate all the comments, guys. Let's go Halos. It's going to be an okay year, okay? We're going to win together. We're going to lose together. Like Nate said right there, we're going to do it together. So leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys after our next game, which please will be a lot better than this one. Take care, everybody.